The Democrat supermajority is no more. Nevertheless, Democrat Legislative Speaker Judy Wonpat says she welcomes the addition of Republican Senator Tony Atta.
He's young, he's new, and that's always great. And personally, I always feel that it's always good to have so many new ones in, some that are a little bit more seasoned, and then the ones that are with a lot of experience and institutional knowledge. It's really important to have that kind of mix.
The Speaker says it's this mix of old and new that brings different things and different ideas to the table. These different ideas allow for deliberation, which is what the legislative body is meant to do, deliberate on the best way to legislate. So what about losing the supermajority that allowed Democrats to override bills that the governor vetoed? Well, the Speaker says it wasn't necessarily the 10 Democrats who overrode the most recent vetoes.
The supermajority, I know everybody would love to have, but when you really look at the history of any overrides, you'll find that we've had a mix. We've had Republicans supporting some of those overrides.
In fact, the last 4 veto overrides included votes from Republican senators. The Speaker says that the supermajority becomes more of an issue when they are voting strictly along party lines, which is something she says doesn't happen as often as people think. In fact, the Speaker pointed to the many recent bills that were passed unanimously with the support of Republican and Democrat senators alike. So what does this mean for the election that is just around the corner in September? Well, the Speaker feels that just because a Republican won the special election, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Republicans will gain control of the legislature in the fall. For one, she points out that 2 incumbent Republicans will be running for higher office, namely Senators Eddie Calvo and Ray Tenorio. She also points out that the Democrat votes were split during the special election amongst 4 Democrat candidates. In fact, she believes that if only one Democrat candidate ran, he or she could have won.
I know some of them said they used it for strategy, just to get their names out there, and the intent wasn't to win, but just to get their names out there, and for whatever their reasons are, of course, in our case, at least the Democratic side, it hurt us.
There are indeed more registered Democrat voters on Guam than there are Republican. Clint Rogel, PNC News.